Chapter 1. March 1870. Silver Dollar, Montana Territory. Jonah Coulter gripped the stack of posters bearing Patsy's description as he strode down the bustling main street of Silver Dollar, the latest in an endless string of mining towns in this exhausting, fruitless search. After 4 months of hunting, he was bone-weary, but he'd done almost nothing by way of actually locating little Anna's aunt. The only real progress he'd made was ruling out women and towns from his list of possible places Patsy of unknown surname could be. Had he really thought he could find a woman in this vast Montana territory with only her first name and hair color? A fool's delusion. As he approached the weathered facade of the Silver Dollar Saloon, the raucous laughter spilling from within turned his stomach. Would Patsy frequent this kind of place with her new husband? If so, would she even be a suitable guardian for the 7-year-old girl he'd found in the woods on his family's mountain ranch? But he'd promised to search for Anna's Aunt Patsy, and, if she still remained in the Montana Territory, to find her and bring her back. The poor girl's grandmother, who'd been traveling with her, had died, and this aunt was her only remaining family. Jonah stepped up to the board beside the saloon door, where other notices were posted, and pulled a nail from his satchel. He positioned it so his blow would secure the paper into the wood. Patsy's vague description, penned in his most legible script, stared at him from the topmost sheet. He drew a steadying breath and stepped forward for his task. A few men drifted from the saloon as he finished nailing the notice. They seemed interested, so he stepped back in case any of them recognized the description. The pungent aroma of sweat, tobacco, and whiskey clouded the fresh air as one of the men murmured something indecipherable to another. They both chuckled. A third fellow, his dark beard matted enough to hide a small animal, raised a tin cup in salute. "Sounds like a looker. She yourn?" Jonah gave a hard shake of his head. "My family's taken in her niece. She's the girl's last kin. If any of you know of her, I'd appreciate you pointing me in the right direction." The man who'd first laughed with his companion gave a toothy grin. "I knew a redhead once. She was a feisty thing." Jonah raised his brows, a seed of hope planting in his chest. "She's still around here?" The miner shook his head. "Nah, that was back in Indiana. She was the kind of gal who stuck with you, though." The guy had the nerve to wink, and Jonah had to clench his jaw to keep from giving the man a lesson about how women should be treated. The men in these towns were all the same. They had no useful information. They just wasted Jonah's time with their crude remarks. He was ready to move on to the next establishment when the bearded man spoke up again.